I'm gonna hang all this for you and give you the best tips and tricks how I hang something like this, okay? Let's do it. Real quick. So, first thing I do right here is I'm gonna measure everything. I'm gonna write every measurement that I've measured down. And I'm gonna put that measurement and use that measurement. So I don't gotta keep coming back and measure and cut and measure and cut. So I'm gonna measure everything right now. This one is very simple and straightforward because my top little piece is very small. So it's easy to trim if this piece ends up being too long, which you won't, okay? But you gotta think about it like this. So I'm gonna start with this one right here. Alright, look, I got a big gap in that piece over there, so I'm gonna allow me to be able to slide that piece behind there. Right there we got 1655, 1655, and we got 1975. Write it down. The length that we wanna go with is 2700. 2700. Here, because a double external, when you're doing a double external or any external, you don't want to put your tape on the plasterboard like here. Right? What you want to do is you want to go onto the timber that's there, to the end of the timber, okay? You don't want to go past the plaster. Right there, which is what? We got 1780, write that down. Over here, what do we have? Here, we got 2590. This is all tight measurements, 25, 90. I'm gonna pretend like I've already hung this wall because this is gonna be my last piece, okay? I'm gonna pretend like I've hung this wall already and I've added on that 10 mil, the thickness of my plasterboard, which is 10 mil. And I'm gonna take that 10 mil off, but I'm also gonna take 2 millimeters off of my full tight measurement so that it actually fits. The measurement there is, and I'm gonna hook it on there. I don't know if that's gonna do it. Where can I put it? There's no way for me to put it. So I'm gonna get my axe hammer like this. I'm gonna cut. So after doing it, I can hook my tape on just like that. Look, very easy. I'm gonna come over here. I'm gonna get my tie measurement right there. So 3792 is the tie measurement. We go 3780. And all I did there was take off 12 millimeters, okay? 3780, write that down. Cool, that's it. I'm gonna cut it right now. I got my texter right here. I'm gonna write down every measurements I've just done. 26, 90, 2700. Now we got 1975. Right here we got 1780. Because there's two different measurements, alright? The ceiling height is 2550, which means I'm using two different sizes of plasterboard. And now I got a piece over here that I gotta start with, which is a 1200 piece. And that there is 2590. But because it's only one piece at 2590, I'm putting on a next that I don't cut two of 2590 and waste my board. The top piece there is gonna be what? 3780. Now, because we're here, I'm gonna get the measurement of this poker right here, straight up. And there we got 300, right? 300 should be the same up there. 300 by 2315, right? 300 times 2315. That's how I write it down. Cool. Now we gotta cut all these pieces, right? Don't use a texter, use a pencil. Alright, look. 2690. Now I don't want to cut myself. A knife is very dangerous, even though it's blunt right now. So to be safe, I'm gonna change the blade, put on the sharper side of the blade, or change the blade completely so it's safer for me to use. We still got one side to use. I'm gonna spin it around. Better be safe, right? Right there, we're gonna cut. So I'm gonna go down, then put pressure on my T-square, and come up, okay? Like that, and I'm gonna snap it. I'm gonna cut that. That's cool, I'm happy there. I'm gonna get 2 blocks that I need because I gotta lift my plaster up off the ground. It's gonna be a big gap. Be aware to all my American people. I know you like to criticize my gap, but I'm actually gonna put crown molding at the top. So by the time I'm finished, you're not gonna see that gap. So don't stress about it. So I'm gonna start on the bottom and finish on the top, okay? Put the blocks down. Now I'm gonna glue it. Australian standards says that we gotta glue every wall, okay? And what I'm doing here is I'm gonna go every 200, right? Roughly 250, around that, okay? If I see a part like that, I'm gonna push that back like that, and I'm gonna put another dog on top of it. Just because it's very loose. Pour a little bit of glue on the middle, just so it holds. Right. Good. Make sure that it's good here. Push all the way back there as tight as you can, and that's it. I'm gonna screw it. The screws are going a little bit too deep. Okay, so I'm gonna adjust that there. And I'm gonna get rid of my plug. Otherwise it'll be too hard to get rid of them later on. So I'm happy there. So I'm gonna get this piece on just because I'm here right now and because it's not connected to anything. So quickly glue it. Because I got my measurements over there, all I gotta go is just go and cut it. 25, 90. Might be there. I'm gonna put it up. I'm gonna put that one there too, because it's a different wall, different piece. Doesn't really matter what I'm doing right now. You see, it doesn't really affect the room if I do this one and I do that one because it's not connected to the room. I wouldn't do this if it was a square room. I mean, the piece is a little bit short. I can make a little bit longer, but the external bit will be able to cover that, so it should be alright. But yeah, I could have made a little bit longer. I'm gonna check see if there's any movement. But that's pretty good there. I'm gonna go cut my 1350s. Buddy, I'm back. Look, I've got my pieces cut to my length. Now all I gotta do for me is cut my measurements. I went and I got all my crosses measurement, which I wrote down, but now I'm gonna get my height. I get my height right there. And that there is, I'm gonna take off 5 millimeters, so 1120. The ceiling height isn't exactly what it should be, so I've had to actually trim back my plasterboard. So here I'm gonna double check to see where the ceiling is sitting, at. Okay, right there we got, that's 1320. So I gotta take off 30 mil on my plaster here. So my measurements were, what do we got, 1655 to 1975. 1655. 1975. Oh, for the rebate going up. You always measure from where you've hung. Yeah. There you go. You gotta take off 30 millimeters. So, and I'm gonna trace this cut right here. I'll show you a little tip when it comes to cutting plasterboard, like this right here. So have a look right there, right? So if I just cut it right now, and I cut my piece like you would, and I go this way, okay? It's very hard for me to cut that, for it to actually snap. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go on an angle with my knife. This is my cut, this is the piece that I want to look nice. This little off cut, it doesn't have to look good, it's rubbish. So I'm gonna go on an angle like this. All right, cool, you see that right there, like a V. I'm gonna do the same thing here. Now, by doing that, it means if I go to cut it again, I should easily be able to go through it like that. And that's what you do if you don't have a saw, okay? Cool. Obviously, you cut the bottom so you can snap it, you cut that off. Cool. Snap that up, don't need it. Put your finger. Very, very nice. Now we're gonna put it up. All right, man. That is a big gap up there. Woo! Quickly screw it. Maybe I didn't need to take off that 5 mil because I created a bigger gap than I needed to be. I'm not happy there, but it is what it is. So, now this is up, right? I can't glue this one too. I'm gonna take off that 30 mil again. Hopefully that's not too much. Obviously you screw the rest. Now here's the thing, right? Because I got my cutting tool, right? I don't need to cut and measure that window there. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna get this height right here. This is a rough height, which is what, 200? I got 200 up. So this rough. And because I want it to fit, I'm gonna cut that part off. But what you would do in this case, if you don't have the tool that I have, you would measure your distance from there, which was 2590, and you get your height to the top of that, the bottom of that bulkhead, and you go mark it and saw it and cut it. But I'm not gonna do that because I have a cutting tool there. So I'll go ahead, 30 mil off. Just like that. And I want your fingers for it. Cool, now I'm gonna put it up. You gotta use your knees when you lift up plasterboard. There you go. Good. Get a hand if you can. There's a big gap over here. Cool. The tool creates a lot of dust, so just wear a mask for your safety. Now I want to cut that bulkhead. This part is very easy. But you want to start with the top piece. Top piece is obviously 300, but then you're going to get your distance, alright? So that day is 1185. 300 by 1185. Use your offcuts, of course. 1185. Always put the top piece on so you can butt your bottom piece onto it. So you have a tight inch. That's pretty good there. Make sure the distance is even and then finish it off. Now we're gonna get that bottom piece. What we're gonna do here is you're gonna go up. I'm happy there. And finish it off. We just done it. Have a look. Come on, let's go. Let's go. Yeah. Yeah. There you have it, G. Adios and peace out, brother.